Thank you, Dr. Jalaly, for accepting our invitation. And this is our honor for being you here with us in one of the beloved session in Litchclub.
Thanks for having me. The honor and pleasure is all mine. I welcome each and every one of friends here. It's totally, honestly, an honor here having. I hope we're gonna have a nice time together. This is the first time that I'm guest here in Literature Land. Uh, I hope that I can just consider the code of hospitality from the guest side. I don't have the slightest doubt about our host here. Uh, I've been in touch with Zara, and she's been so patient with me to
Oh my
set the
gosh,
time
no,
for this
anytime.
session. Yeah, I didn't know much about actually the sessions, and she, guided me through literature world. I had a short trip around your world, and but still I'm new in your land, so bear with me.
Oh, come on. It was for sure our pleasure, and thank you. Thank you. I know you're such a really busy year and your circumstances, and it could be really good for us to give this chance to every and each one of us to just being your student also.
I'm appreciative of your
Um,
understanding. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. By the way, the floor is yours and you can start it.
Thank you. So, as you can see, the title of the short lecture that I've prepared for this session is an introduction to feminist reading. And, after having a very short theoretical introduction to feminist reading, we're gonna together try to read a short poem by Margaret Atwood. The poem is titled You Fit Into Me. I guess some of our friends here are already familiar with this poem. Um, um, would you please go to the next slide so we can start with our theoretical background? Yep. Before talking about feminism, let's just have a fun reading of this. Uh, yeah, uh, drawing. What is this? Is it a rabbit or dog to you, guys?
At the beginning, it
Mm-hmm.
sounded like a duck, but when you said the rabbit thing, saw it in different perspective. And now I can see it as a rabbit too.
Aha. So you saw a dog first, and I kind of led you toward just seeing a rabbit too. Cool. Uh, yeah. Jungle Bird told both. Naima has seen a rabbit. Yeah, so we have some rabbit group and dog group, but no fight over rabbit or dog. Yeah, there are some politicians here who have chosen both answers and responded rabbit and dog. Cool. And now let's think about a 3-year-old kid who has never seen a rabbit, but has been exposed to dogs in the environment. Um, he or she most probably will see just a dog. But you, as an adult, you are familiar with both of these animals, these creatures. You know dogs and you're familiar with rabbits. But there are some kids who might not have seen a dog or might not have seen a rabbit ever. And they just, as soon as they see this drawing, they will try to just, match the drawing with what they already know. That's usually the way that we understand or we read our world. If we consider the world as a text, then we read the text from where we stand, from our background knowledge. So you as an adult have this advantage of knowing both rabbit and dog. So you can shift between these two, and you can go ahead with seeing even maybe more in this picture. Would you please go to the next slide? Zara John, would you please? Okay, I don't have access to these slides. Yeah, thank you. So we have our own lenses, and the lens that you see the world through it. For example, Amir Hossein saw a dog. The lens that he looked at the previous drawing through made him see a dog. We have different, sunglasses here in different colors. And I used this analogy to talk about critical lens. Critical lens is a way of looking at a particular work of literature by focusing on how they show a certain theme. There are different types of critical lenses, like psychoanalytic critical lens, Marxist critical lens, feminist critical lens. I have used this analogy to highlight, before starting our discussion of feminist critical lens, to emphasize this, that we cannot call a work of art a feminist work of art. We have feminist way of reading a text. A text cannot be by nature a feminist or a Marxist or a psychoanalytic one. It's, from the way I read the text as a reader, response, criticism fan, I believe that we, most of the time, if I am wearing the pink glasses, I'll see the world as, all rosy and pink. If I wear the blue one, whatever I look at will have a shade of blue. So if I am equipped with the knowledge of knowing rabbits, I can see rabbits around me. If I'm equipped with the knowledge of knowing ducks, I can see the duck in the drawing. If I'm wearing the pink or black or blue glasses, or having feminist critical lens, I can find the feminist theme in a work of art. Am I clear? Just, are you following me, or guys?
Yeah.
Cool.
Please.
Amir Hossein, yes. Yeah. Mr. Yuzarsif.
Fatima raising hand. Oh, okay. Maybe mistakenly. If you need something, just let me know about that.
Is there anything that I can clarify? Just maybe I've not been clear enough. Is that all right if I go to the next slide?
Yes, I think it's crystal clear.
Thank you. So let's move on to the next slide. So if you're familiar with new criticism, that is some kind of prerequisite to this discussion. I guess feminism is a bit more advanced kind of reading. We mostly get familiar with new criticism in the first sessions of critical approaches to literature. And most of friends are familiar with new critical way of reading a text, or formalistic way of, approaching a text. And in a new critical reading, we try to find the tension within the text. That's the goal that we have in reading our texts. In feminist reading, we are looking for tensions not any, not every and any kind of tension, but the tensions between male imagery and female imagery. That's the goal in feminist reading. So we're still using the techniques, the ways that we used in new critical approach, but here, instead of just focusing on any kind of tension, we focus on tensions between male imagery and female imagery. We, for example, ask ourselves, how are female and male symbols treated in the work? Are the female symbols diminished, pushed down, being suppressed? Are the male symbols being championed? That's usually the case in, works of literature, and usually what we discover. But we might also find that the female symbols are bursting free and coming loose, and maybe that's some sort of what we call a feminist type of text, So we first try to trace and find and locate the feminist symbols and the female symbols and male symbols. And what we mean by female and male symbols, there are some females and male characters that's not, difficult to find in a work of art. Not much, talent needed or a special keen eye to just see those characters. But there are also symbols that you need a kind of literary, literacy to discern them. In feminism, we're gonna just, use some words while discussing texts like patriarchal. I don't know if you're familiar with the term patriarchal. That comes from the word patriarch, meaning father. So we use this term to refer to those texts in which those male symbols are championed, those male symbols are kind of admired, and the female symbols are pushed down. These, don't let those terms scare you away from feminist reading, and that there is this just technical terms and jargon that sometimes make people, think of literary criticism and courses related to critical approaches some kind of difficult and scary, spooky. But actually, that's just a way of reading, just like interpreting the first drawing that we had. Is it a dog or a rabbit? Or wearing those, color lenses and wearing those colorful eyeglasses. So let's move to the next slide. Yeah, I talked about male and female symbols. Now, let me see if you can find male symbols here. Which pictures do you think refer to the male symbol?
I think based on first psychoanalysis and first idea of male, I think Eiffel Tower is related to male.
Yeah, Eiffel Tower. Yep, cool. What else? Any other male symbol on the slide?
And another thing is the female symbol. The ball on the right side of the right side of the picture is related to the female symbols, exactly based on Freud's psychoanalysis.
Yeah, Jack, I saw Jack referring to the second photo, but I couldn't, let me see. The second picture from left, from right. Jack, could you clarify yourself? Malahat, yes, the rocket. There is female symbol also on the very you mean the anchor, Jack? Are you referring to the anchor? Yeah, that's a male symbol. Thank you. And the rocket, cool. The Eiffel Tower. Any other male symbol that you can find on this slide? Yeah, thank you, Atifa. Oh, sorry, Arifa John. Yeah, basically anything phallic shape, anything pointy, right? That's, that could be, I think it depends on our view and mental background based on which we associate some symbols to men and some others to women. Yep. Okay. And how about the female, the bowl that Amir Hossein mentioned? Any other female symbol that you can find on this slide? The balloons are, yeah, the pink balloons. Yes, the pen is male, is considered to be, phallic symbol. The pink balloons are female. How about the inkwell? The inkwell that we have right beside the pen. Is it a male or phallic symbol or a feminine symbol? Yeah, the bowl, the inkwell, the balloon, the moon that you have at the background of the rocket photo. These are the female, symbols. So you're, we have a kind of deeper discussion of these feminine symbols and phallic symbols in psychoanalytic reading. And I like this about feminism, that feminism benefits from different literary approaches, like, new criticism, psychoanalytic criticism, even deconstructionism, all other approaches to, see the tension between male and female imagery in the works of art. Okay, how about moving to the next slide? Cool. So you are already now, the responses that I received, the answers that you just had in call messages, that column here, shows that you are already familiar with feminist way of reading your world, the text around you. There is a very short and simple, very simplified checklist for feminist critical reading of a work. For example, we ask, to what extent does the representation of women and men in the work reflect the place and time in which the work was written? The second one, how are the relationships between men and women, or those between members of the same sex, presented in the work? If you respond to any of these questions, you're reading your text through feminist critical lens. And what roles do men and women assume and perform, and with what consequences? And does the author present the work from within a predominantly male or female sensibility? Is he taking side with the symbols, the phallic symbols, or the feminine ones? Why might this have been done, and with what effects? You can add some other just questions to this checklist. If, for example, you want to have a more traditional kind of reading, but still a feminist way, critical lens on, you might ask about the time and, conditions in which the writer produced the work. For example, you can ask, how do the facts of the author's life relate to the presentation of men and women in the work, or to their relative degrees of power. Or you might ask, how do other works by the author correspond to this one in their depiction of the power relationships between men and women? The next slide, please. Okay, now we had that's just critical background, the short, simple ones, and I tried to simplify it, you know, as much as I could. Now let's have our feminist critical lens on. Please wear your feminist glasses on, and let's read this poem. Is there any friend here who's volunteered to read this short, very, very short poem? You fit into me?
Am I right?
Yeah, of course, why not? Thank you.
Well, you fit into me like a hook into an eye, a fish hook and not an eye.
Thank you. Cool. This short poem by Margaret Atwood is one of my favorites, and let's talk about it. Can you see any? Let's find the symbols, the imagery first. The female and male imagery is, you know, poems are like flowers, very delicate. Sometimes I am afraid that they wither under the fingers of dissection, as you know, the poet once told. But still, we have to do it for the sake of learning. So let's find the symbols in this work, the feminine symbols and the phallic symbols in the work, and then see how are they interacting with each other. Okay, these symbols. You fit into me like a hook into an eye. We have a hook, right? Thank you, Kiaraj. Let's first go item by item, right? Thank you, Arafajan. The hook. Who can I? Yeah, you refer to who can I. Cool. We have who can I. What else? Any other item, object? We have who can I. What else? We have a fish hook, a fish. Hook is hook is clearly a masculine symbol, Shivajan. Cool. What else? Next slide, please. Zarajan, yeah. We have the who can I, the very first picture, the top left. Can you see the who can I? That was it Arife? Yes. Arife John mentioned who can I. We have the hook and the eye in front of the hook, just located placed beside the hook. The hook is clearly a masculine symbol. The eye is open as well. So it's not only feminine, but it's pretty unprotected. Yeah, thank you, Shivajan. Cool, great. I have great audience here and very informed ones. The first item, who can I? The hook and the eye, the object beside it. Do you have the who can I on your clothes, any piece of clothes that you're wearing now? Yeah, who can I? And we have the hook, the fish hook, right? And then we have the, jack. You know, if I, mostly the who can I is traditionally used in female clothing. Nowadays, they're used in vestes and different kinds of male clothing too. But traditionally speaking, who can I, or what is it called in Persian? Qazan, qufli or qazan. That's used in female clothing. Okay, next item. Next slide, please. Yeah, the phallic versus feminine symbols. First, we had hook, and eye. We had fish hook and open eye. And if we want to just read them based on the phallic and feminine symbolism of Freudian reading, hook is definitely, as one of your friends mentioned, yeah, Shiva was referring to, yeah, clearly a masculine symbol. And hook and eye is just, we have the hook and the eye, the rings form a part of the hook and eye. That's just a combination of female and male symbolism together. Fish hook, how about the fish hook? Is it a male, a phallic symbol, or a female or feminine symbol too? A fish hook. Still a masculine, right? Or feminine, yeah, a phallic symbol. And the eye, how about the eye? The bowl-like, right, feminine symbol, cool. Now let's get back to the poem. Now you have an idea of the imagery, and now let's get back to the poem and read the poem once more. You fit into me like a hook into an eye, a fish hook, an open eye. There is a favorite quotation of mine. It's just not that it's mine, actually. I like it. I quote it over and over. That's why I claim it to be mine. But reading a poem without a dictionary is like playing tennis without racket, right? We need to read each and every line and all the words there, and look up the words and see different meanings of those words. The word hook, it means, it has different meanings on dictionary. Would you just look it up and give me the different meanings that you have for hook?
ببخشید، یکی از معنیاش به عنوان مشتی که زیر چشم میشینه نمیشه.
Yeah, hook is just, yeah, punch, usually from the right side. Yeah, hook, punch. What else? Fist, yeah, punching people with your fist, hook. Clasp, yeah, a piece of metal. cool. پس اون معنی نعیم جان، معنی پانچش رو بگیریم، معنی مشتش رو بگیریم، خیلی خشن شد که اون ستنزای اول You fit into me like a hook into an eye. اینجوری بخونیم مشت زیر چشم، قشنگ میشینی زیر چشم مثل یه مشت. Shall we read it like that? Yeah, that's a very, just one of the connotations of and that's possible, that way of reading Naima John. Yes, that's possible. This one of the connotations of the phallic symbols, that's destruction, just like in, we had the rocket there, penetration, destruction. These are just could be read there. Hook into an eye, the force. Cool, a fish. But in the second stanza, that image shifts to another one, a fish hook, an open eye. And we have it in not, have you ever seen a fish having a fish hook in the eye? Maybe on the movies, here and there, just they have the hook in the eye of a small fish, and they use that small fish as the bait for fishing, getting a bigger fish, right? So we can, you have caught, you've gone fishing and you've gone on sea fishing, just on the yacht, or I don't know, ship, having big fish, just using the small fish, Jack? Right? You know, the fishing usually we're familiar with is having a worm or a bait on the fish hook to getting small fish. But sometimes to get bigger fish, they just use the fish hook and pass it through the eye of small fish and throw it and use the small fish as the bait for getting the bigger fish. That's just the thing. And a fish hook and open eye, that's usually the case with, you know, getting, fishing bigger fish. So you fit into me like a hook into an eye. If we do forget about that violent image of having a punch under one's eye or into someone's eye, that could be one way of reading it. That's very violent way of reading. It's just kind of ironic. You fit into me. We're so, you know, it would click. We, you know, match of ourselves. You fit into me like a hook into an eye, just like the hook, the punch that, you know, sits under someone's eye. That's just violent, but still the ironic way, violent way. And also another violent imagery, a fish hook, an open eye. Okay, so the entire poem could be read as a very violent way of saying that, okay, you're, we fit into each other, but in this way. It's kind of very toxic way of, you know, describing a toxic kind of relationship. But let's get back to the very first stanza. You fit into me like a hook into an eye, and read the hook and eye as Arif read it, right? Who can I? The very first image that we had. Who can I? Some kind of a buttoning, two pieces of clothing. That's just who can I? Zarajan, would you move to the next slide so I can again show who can I? Yeah, the who can I is the top left image that we have. Who can I? And look at them. The hook is useless without the eye, and the eye is useless without the hook. So when you know, tell someone that you fit into me like a hook into an eye, you're, you know, somehow telling the other guy that, okay, we are made for each other. You know, I'm useless without you, you're useless without me. We work together. We mean something together. We work together. You know, we're useless without each other. We're made for each other. So that's a very romantic kind of, you know, describing one's relationship, isn't it? That violent image of punching and just hurting someone else, that let's put that behind. The first, back to the poem, please. Yes, the first stanza, so you fit into me like a hook into an eye, as Arifajan just led us here. So this is very romantic kind of relationship, but we have a space to read the next stanza. That space in poem, each and every sign, every word, every letter, every punctuation sign means something, you know. The definition of poetry, if you remember, was poetry is a language that says more in less words in the most effective way. So we make best of, you know, each and every sign in the poem. The space here means something. Dividing the poem into two different stanzas is just like, maybe I read it like two stages of relationship. The first stage that I call honeymoon phase is just, you fit into me like a hook into an eye. We're like hook and the eye that are made for each other. That's so cute. And then we have some kind of space that could be, the physical long distance thing, or it could be the passage of time, or any kind of, some kind of space. And after that space or pause, or maybe that has happened, in your revision of thought, and then you have the second phase of your relationship, the second stage. There you notice, your attachment to each other is not, and your relationship and the way of interaction with each other is not the way that, who can I are matched with each other, but it's just like a fish hook that's penetrated into the open eye of that's very violent, isn't it? And you cannot separate a fish hook from open eye. Yeah, it's just kind of invading. That's the violent side. Yeah, you're right, Kiarash. And that eye is very submissive. That's open, right? That's the thing. It's just so, it makes even worse. A fish hook, an open eye. And that's, can we separate them? If I take out the fish hook, the eye would be taken out too. That blindness is there, and maybe the bleeding and the death following that. Or if I leave it there, then the infection and the following death, it seems that there is no way out. It's a dead end, just so violent, toxic kind of relationship. It's and the unfortunate part is that the eye is open. And close your eyes now and listen to the poem once more. You fit into me like a hook into an eye, a fish hook, an open eye. And that open eye, the eye could be read, could be written E-Y-E, I as an organ, and I as the pronoun I, right? So I, as a person, first person, I've been open. I have hugged you. I have just made this happen to me. I received you with open, arms. But that fish hook, now that I have opened my eye, that just experience after that space, that pause, has been an eye-opening experience. Yeah, an eye-opening experience. Open eye could be referred to that eye-opening experience. But what's the use of opening your eye after just having this fish hook that you don't have any way out? It's just kind of tragic. But there, look at the I, the first person I at the end of the line, at the end of the poem, and the very first word that you have in the poem, you. The honeymoon phase starts with you. I love you. You are the center of my world. You're the entire world. You start from there, and you end up just seeing that I think there is some kind of hope, isn't it? That's the I at the end of the poem, moving from you to I at the end of the poem, and then that I, it just has now have an open, eye-opening experience, but still suffering from that fish hook. It's kind of, yes, Kiarash, if we read it like that, if we apply those just maybe childish questions that I had from the very beginning of the lecture, and you were so patient with me, and you just followed me up to this part. If we apply those feminine symbols, masculine phallic symbols here, and then read the poem like that, and remember that who can I, that's some kind of buttoning or attaching two pieces of clothing that's usually used in female clothing, women's clothing, especially the the bra, that's just used in bra, and then just you see maybe the persona is just a female one who's using the female imagery to describe the different stages of the relationship that she's gone through. That's one way of reading it. But you remember the glasses? Zarajan, can you just move back to the slide that we had different kind of glasses? Yeah, here. Now I'm using just one of these glasses. I cannot say that this poem means this, okay? I used just one of these. I used, for example, the pink glass, and I'm seeing and reading the poem like this. But you might not like this way of reading, or you might not agree with me, and you say that, okay, no, this is not what this poem means. But I use this one, and you can use another, just glasses, a pair of glasses. Now, can you just move to, sorry for just, yeah, I'm too demanding, but I hope that's, yeah, a Farid has written, I also means the hole in a needle through which you put the thread. Yes, yes, Farid John, that's right. Cool. Anything else that you want to just add to the poem? I think you've been great audience. I'm just so excited. I didn't, expect much, to be honest. I had toothache before starting this class, and Zara was not just yeah. I didn't just share my video. I didn't just turn on my camera. I was not a very just. I was an impossible guest. That's, to be honest. But you were such a great audience. That's why I did forget about my toothache and everything, and I'm so excited, and I'm enjoying reading this poem. Thank you.
I hope to have you more here also.
Thanks.
For another time.
Yeah, thank you. You're kind. Let's move to the next.
Yes, but before it, Shiva has a right hand. Shiva, do you have any question?
Yes, I just wanted to. Thank you. I just wanted to ask that if the second stanza being so short and without, like, the first stanza has a hook into an eye, but like the second stanza is like so brief, like I don't know, does it signify anything? I think it feels like some kind of coldness from her words, like someone who is hurting and doesn't want to use much words.
Exactly. Yeah, great. You're very great reader, Shiva John. Let's get back to the poem and what Shiva just referred to. It's very here. Look at the, let's count the words. The honeymoon phase, you're over the moon, you have the time for just making similes. You have a simile here, like a hook into an eye. Yeah, my love is, like a rose, my love is like this, like that. You're just that time. The time that you start writing poems, you speak poetry, you dance, but the second one is you're in pain. You just use the telegraphic language. Maybe you're in pain, or what else you can just, Shivajan, what you suggested? Maybe you're done with it.
I suggested that like in the first stanza there are like middle words that connect the words to each other. Hook into an eye, like a hook, you feed into me, these words, they connect them, but the words in the second stanza, they are so individual, they're just
detached, aloof, right?
As a matter of factly, just the bare minimum of what needs to be said in order to correct she's just correcting the first imagery of the first stanza.
Yeah, I cannot agree more. Thank you. Great point. We have Malahat also, who wants to join us. Malahat
Do
John?
you have my voice?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Loud
Okay.
and clear.
All right. Well, I was wondering.
You're breaking up, Malahat, at least to me.
Yes, yes, yes. I think her connection is not good. Can you hear us, Malahat?
Do you have my voice?
Now, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I lost the connection for the second. Yeah, okay. So I was saying that, I think the first part refers to like how women are usually, idealize the, meaning of love and marriage, like specifically in the like past and later generations. They had this idea of love that would, be perfect for them, but like as you can see, like the space between the two stanzas shows that the like change in their mind, after they realize that perhaps love is not everything, and that idea of it that was well made by the society upon them is not everything that they had imagined. Is that something you can tell from the poem?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. You're right. Thank you. That we have that rosy, flowery, way of looking at, the relationship, and then yes, again, their disillusionment. Their Lilo, we're all ears.
Hi. What came to my mind was that how she is describing the man as a hook, and the hook is movable, but the woman, the eye is in the same place. So the man is somehow in the control of this relationship. Like the hook and eye are for formal dresses, and like something you wear in the tradition in a more formal sense. And this is maybe somehow arranged marriage, or maybe like something that you are expected to do. Like this is somehow like, I don't know how to put it, but
Lilo John, maybe just correct me. I'm paraphrasing you, so to make sure that I've just comprehended your words correctly. I myself thought that who can I is just applied in the intimate kinds of clothing, um, the traditionally speaking women's clothing, and the underwear, the bra that's used in bras. And it's just, especially the very first stanza is a very intimate way of description, because the clothing that she's referring to, or he's referring to, whatever the persona, that is touching the skin, and that's just very intimate. But the second one is not an intimate imagery. That's more of outdoorsy, hunting, fishing, masculine kind of imagery. So we're moving from a feminine imagery to masculine imagery. That's the way that I read it. But correct me if I've missed some part of it. And I'm reading it not. Uh-huh.
in my mind, like I understand what you're saying, but like in my mind, this type of dressing, like this bra, or um, this bra is something that women like have to wear. Like men don't
Uh-huh.
have to wear a bra, you know.
Yeah.
And this is something that we are like socially trained to think is what we are supposed to
Uh-huh.
wear.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I guess now, yeah, yeah. Yes, I agree
Like if
with you.
you're alone, maybe you don't wear a bra.
You're
Like
reading deeper. Yes, yes. Cool. Great. I got it. I don't know. It just, are you following, friends?
mm,
Yeah, Lilo, thank you. Yes, your friends are also there. Yep. Okay, thank you. That was great.
Thank
You took the discussion a step for ahead. Great. Any other friend? Farid John, I read your comment. We're glad that you could join us. Yes, Kiarash, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned it from the very beginning of our discussion that yes, the fitting into that is just referring to intercourse and having, just sexual act of making love. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next slide, if there is any. I don't remember. Yes, yeah, no, we're done. If you do not want to add anything, I'm done with my lecture. I tried to keep it short and simple. And this is just the very first step of and very introduction, as I had it on the title of our lecture and our gathering. I prefer to call it our gathering. This is just an introduction to feminist reading and the very first step, but we could deconstruct and ask, what is man? What is, women, being a woman? And then just revolt against this way of, clear-cut phallic and feminine symbolism for women and men in different works of art. You can just, have a revisionist, revolutionary reading of the texts, and that's just, of course, a horse of different color. And we need another session to discuss it. But I really enjoyed reading this poem. I love poetry, especially just when I can read it in the company of literary kinsmen. No, it's not an images poem, as far as I know. No, but I'm not that complacent to just give you a decisive no. If you can prove it to be, for sure I'll accept it. But to me, it's not. Shivaja.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jalaly.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Really enjoyable for all of us. As I see 30% here in the meeting, and it was our honor for sure. If there is any other question, you can turn on your mic or just write it down here in the messages.
Yeah, just one thing. Farid has written that this poem is not a feminist thing. Farid John, at the beginning of the very discussion we had, we agreed that we do not have any feminist work. We have feminist way of reading this poem. And tonight, we tried to just have a feminist reading of this poem. You can read it in another through another critical lens. That would be so, if someone from, this group of friends decide to read this poem from another perspective and have a gathering for that, I'm in. Total in.
Yes, it would be our pleasure, but Farid is the person who, when saw our poster, he really wants to discuss about it, and I tell him, you're late, Farid, that you lost a lot of information.
A masculinist Farid, almost all literature has been patriarchal up to now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, M. Sadeghi, thank you. Cool, Faiza. Faiza Jan, I asked Zara not to record this session because I want to, that's usually, friends of mine who know me. No, I have this quirky side of mine. I'm sorry. It's just, I prefer my, even, campus classes, university online classes during COVID not being recorded, because I want everyone to say whatever they want in my classes. This was not a class, this was a friendly gathering, and I wanted to be as crazy as could be, and I want everyone else to feel totally at home and free and share their ideas. That's why I asked Zarajan not to record it. So yeah, that's all my fault. That is no, Friday. The writers and artists is I don't believe that you can say they're man, women. Some of greatest works of literature with feminine soul are written by male writers. You don't need to be women to be a feminist, or yeah, I don't believe that. Okay. Thank you, Faizajan, for your interest.
Can I say something?
Oh, of course, Amirjan, go ahead.
The thing with the approach is that you can apply it on whatever you want. For example, you can have a deconstructive reading of Fit into an Eye, this poem that we just
Sure.
read.
Yeah.
So, as you said, it's like a lens. It's like something that you wear, and you can see the work from different perspective, in different way. So works are more than that. More works are about concepts, are
Of
about
course.
great things of life. They are not written about a certain theme. Yes, they have several themes. They support several themes, but they are not written in order to, bolster or boost just one theme. So we cannot say it is feminist work. We can say it is a feminist reading of a work,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we are applying some standard, some norm that is related to feminist approach on a certain work. I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and feminist reading has some advantages. For example, women, they show how women have been underrepresented in the traditional literary canon, and a feminist approach to literature attempts to kind of redress that problem. But it has its own disadvantages too. Feminists sometimes turn literary criticism into a political battlefield and overlook the merits of works they consider patriarchal. And when arguing for a distinct feminine writing style, they tend to relegate women's literature to a ghetto status, and this in turn prevents female literature from being naturally included in the literary canon. I see that, and the feminist approach is sometimes often too theoretical. I see that, Farid John. I know what you mean about the way that sometimes feminists can cancel each other and even cancel the merits of great works of art that we have. And we have different waves of feminism too. This was just a very short introduction. We did not discuss different waves of feminism. We did not just, go that far.
I
Okay.
think one of the advantages that comes with the feminist approach is how we discuss the rules and the duties that is related to genders in the society based on the patriarchal norms that has been showed by the politicians, maybe by the governors or things, or the officials. So on one hand, yes, it is talking about female, but on the other hand, it's talk about male too, because there are so many rules related to the men, but they are not related to them. There is something that culture or past officials or governments,
Yeah,
have set for
systematically.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
you're
are
right.
trained to act in some certain way.
Farid-Jan, I don't change my name. I know some Farids, who are very smart. I know some smart Farids. I know some Farids who've been naughty. I know, several people with, called Farid. Do you want to change your name because there's some of them are like this or that? Just, I don't know. I call myself a feminist, and I feel proud of it. But I don't think that just having different kinds of feminism, different just approaches, that doesn't make me wanna kind of disown feminism. Cool.
Exactly. I think Amber just mentioned really good things, and as you just said it previously in the beginning of the session, that sometimes you can see a lot of aspects for theoretical frameworks in literature. You can see works as a lot of aspects, maybe feminism, maybe Marxism, or a lot of things. And it really depends on how you apply such those things. So we cannot 100% just mention it that it could be like that or it could be like this.
Yeah. Back to
So
the
tonight,
rabbit. Back to the rabbit and duck thing.
yeah, exactly.
I just want to show a rabbit,
Yeah.
there. For those who are seeing a duck and want to just kind of widen, that's what literature is supposed to do. Just broaden our world, make our way of seeing the world keener, sharper, and just Farid-Jan, it just maybe there is a rabbit there. I see that too. You're right, but we also see a duck there. Thank you, Zara. I really enjoy, and I discussing, having this talk together, Farid-Jan. But I guess we're kind of boring the rest of friends here, and I don't like to be a bore the very first time that I'm here as your
No,
guest.
it's okay, and I know that's his fault who comes very late. By the way, thank you so much. It was a really
Thank you.
my pleasure, and I know it's a priceless time that you just give it for us. It really means to us.
Thank you. Atusa, Lilo, Farid, Kiarash, M. Sadeghi, I don't, each and every one of you, just one more game. I don't, all the friends who are here, Mr. Yuzar Sif, Faize, Jack, Kiarash, Fateme, all friends who contributed to the discussion, those of you who've been silently just suffering here. Each and
No
every one.
way.
Thank you. Thank you very much
It's
for having me
marvelous.
tonight.
Thank
I
you,
really enjoyed
actually.
it. Have a nice night, everyone.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye. I
Bye.
see you maybe later. We hope to have you here a lot. And bye, guys. I hope you have a really great night.
Bye.
Bye.